about this. Is it wrong to have a guard dog or a protection dog at home? 0207 862 2222 is the number that you need. Now, there were once the preserve of the ultra-rich and security professionals, but with growing anxieties about crime and burglaries, personal protection dogs are now booming in popularity.
But it does raise serious questions about animal welfare and public safety. If they're poorly trained, the dogs can pose a serious risk to the public. So should ordinary people be allowed to own guard dogs trained to, I suppose, bite on command? What do you think about this, Wilfred?
I'm really uncomfortable with this, actually. You know, the idea that people are able to have what I call a weapon in their house that could actually inflict harm on other people is just the wrong way to go. It's not that I have a problem with people actually having guard dogs, because I think in certain situations you should, but not necessarily for in the home. And in fact, a lot of these people who are getting these dogs, they're getting them to intimidate other people, rather than
thieves.
Pardon?
They're getting them
No,
to
they're not there for
intimidate
thieves. You see that, you know, the drug dealers and God knows that walking around with their sort of Rottweilers to show that it's a weapon. And in this day and age, when you've got CTVs, you've got AI, why do you need an animal for protection? Surely we're not having these violent, it seems to be exaggerated that people are getting burgled and there's this violence, and then you have a dog to protect, a dog that could go and actually bite you and cause harm. I just think that's going down absolutely the wrong way.
I don't want to get confused between people getting status dogs and people getting guard dogs, because status dogs are one thing. These dogs are highly, highly trained and incredibly expensive. I looked, £32,000 was one of the price tags.
People are buying dogs for £32,000.
Trained
because they are so incredibly well trained.
I don't accept that. You know, how could they afford that? So, if you've got £32,000 to spend on a dog, okay, that ain't a normal person sitting in their home wanting a bit of protection from a burglar.
Well,
that sounds like the super rich.
Susie, what's your thoughts?
Look, I think ultimately, look, if we all step back, there is a trend in the country, isn't there, where if you go back like 10 years, you didn't have all these like big, quite aggressive dogs. Like you're going out, you're walking with your kid along the road and you'll see these big, aggressive dogs.
Terrible.
Like anyone that's got a child probably feels uncomfortable about that. I feel uncomfortable about that. There's very few things that scare me. Like when a criminal took my phone, I chased him. Do you know what I mean? A dog, I'm running, you know. And don't get me wrong, like I've got loads of friends that have lovely dogs. Dogs are lovely, you know, in lots of circumstances. But when you're training dogs in this way, the point is I think there is a trend, and it is like there's a message being sent, and it is becoming normalised to have aggressive dogs. I think that is a big problem, and I think it needs massive amounts of regulation.
All right, well, look, let's speak to someone who knows a little bit more about this. Alistair Bligh is a dog trainer and the founder of the company K9Protector. Alistair, thank you so much for giving us your time. Welcome to the show.
You're welcome, thank you.
Alistair, what do you make of what you heard from our panel so far? They seem a little bit alarmed that these dogs have become more and more popular.
Firstly, Wilfred, Susie, hi, how are you?
Hi.
Good to see you.
Hi there. There's a slight delay, so you'll have to bear with me a little bit. So basically, we set up a personal protection dog training company roughly 17 years ago now. And what I can tell you is my average customer has children under the age of 10, and these dogs live within their family homes. They are highly trained personal bodyguards, and certainly not a status dog. The majority of our customers are buying dogs because something has gone terribly wrong in their life. They've been broken into, they've been raped in their own homes, they've had violent attacks in their own homes, and sadly, I mean, I left the police service 16 years ago to start this business, and the level of violence being offered in the commission of crime in the UK is at an all-time high. Regardless of what government statistics say, it is at an all-time high.
Alistair, are these dogs, can they be dangerous to other people? I appreciate and respect the fact that they are highly trained by you before they are bestowed to their new owners, but many people see these dogs as a weapon. Now, can they be weaponized under the wrong circumstances? Can they be dangerous to other people?
the only time that these dogs could be dangerous to other people if they're if they're commanded to by the owner, or they are the owner or a significant member of that dog's family is offered overt violence. The two trigger factors that we train into these dogs is on command or, as I said, overt violence being offered. But in terms of weaponizing a dog, you have to understand that the character of the individuals that we sell dogs to is very good. It's checked, it's vetted. They don't just buy a dog, they buy a relationship for the life of that dog. We offer boarding, training. You go away on holiday, your dog comes to us whilst we're training your dog whilst you're having a holiday with your family. So
Alistair,
we offer training at home, etc. So
just very briefly, because we're running out of time, what sort of vetting process do you have with the people that you do business with? Because that is what some people are worried about, that these dogs are being purchased not just for protection, but as status symbols, as you heard there from Wilfred and Susie. So what, have you ever refused someone your services?
Yes, we had a reasonable gentleman that came to our site that wanted to buy a dog. Initial testing in terms of research on his background didn't reveal anything. Further testing revealed that he was actually a career criminal. So we do have to be careful about the people that we supply dogs to. But what you have to understand is the majority of our clients are people that are they've worked hard. They maybe live in a property that whereby it may attract attention. But equally, you know, we've seen an increase in domestic violence victims by investing in dogs as well. So we do our due diligence.
Alistair, thank you so much for giving us your time. Good to speak to you there. Alistair Blight, dog trainer and founder of K9.